What's up, YouTube? This is Paul D'Amico here, just reporting on my Dragon Master Magia Blue Eyes deck that I just got day 2 at YCS Providence with. I ended up with a pretty decent record with this deck. I got 7 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw to get me into day 2. I ended up placing 105 out of over 1,000 players, so I was very, very happy with this deck. Quick background on me, I'm pretty much just a super casual Yu-Gi-Oh player, about as casual as you can get. And I've been playing this deck a lot on Master Duel, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I ended up just buying the whole thing, high rarity, playing it in the event, and it went very, very well. My matchup knowledge, I'm not going to lie, was not good at all. I was pretty much just playing against like Beansmith and Ryziel decks and the new Mitsurugi decks, and I really wasn't too knowledgeable on them. But even so, I was able to put out enough negations with this deck to go absolutely crazy and have a really good time and even make day 2 at my first YCS. So it was an awesome experience. And I just want to report on the deck. So if there's any other casual Yu-Gi-Oh fans that want to try out Dragon Master Magia and try to do well with it, like, I recommend the deck a lot. It's really, really fun. Yeah, so let's show off the deck real quick. So we'll start off with the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. You don't need 3. 2 is really all you need. 1 isn't. 1 obviously is too risky to run, and 2 is a perfect number. I didn't really brick with these at any point in the day, which was nice. Jet was amazing. He was really, really good. I didn't really brick with Jet really all that much, if at all, and he won me a bunch of games. Like, his ability to just bounce stuff back and protect your whole board ended up being like really, really big. Like, one thing people really struggled with is if I had like Jet and then this card out, like it was super hard for them to do like anything to my board. So yeah, no, Jet was a really, really good tech card, and I pretty much never sided him out either. Like, whether I was going first or second, I always kept this card in. Then I got these 2 cards, the Chaos Max and the Abyss. The Abyss was, I bricked on this card a couple of times, but it wasn't too bad. Its purpose is just to end phase search this card out so you can use Ultimate Fusion to summon the Magia. This card actually drew a decent handful of times, but it actually really wasn't ever that bad when I drew it, because I would just pitch it for cost or with Wishes for Eyes of Blue and get it into the graveyard to get the Magia. So I didn't actually mind drawing this card that much. Like, with this deck, if you end up drawing like 1 brick, it really isn't that bad because you have the Wishes for Eyes of Blue to discard. So now for the tuners, this card was absolutely incredible. The 3 Neo Kaiser Seahorse. He's great. He's an extender because you can special him when you control the vanilla Blue Eyes. He's a level 4 tuner, so you can use him to make Crimson Dragon with the Blue Eyes. And he Foolish Burials any monster that has Blue Eyes in the text, so you can dump this for a 1-card combo. You also, if you're going for Magia and you're using him as an extender, you can dump this. It actually came up quite a few times when I was dumping Jet with this effect as well. So now Kaiser Seahorse was amazing. And again, in this pure list with no primites, I mean, he was really, really good. Triple of Maiden of White. This card was absolutely incredible. This card was MVP in pretty much all of my duels. Full 1-card combo, great extender, great starter. This card was just amazing. Amazing. It's so good. Konami, if you're watching this, please keep printing amazing legacy support cards like this for other archetypes. Like, man, this card is so good. So good. We got 3 Sages. Primary purpose is to search her. But you could also grab like a Veiler, and I'm actually running Ancient Stone as part of the combo, so you can search those too. Its hand effect to summon from deck actually came up once. So yeah, 3 stage is pretty standard in every Blue Eyes list. This is definitely not standard. This card actually was really good for me this weekend. Now the whole Magia package I'd actually side out in games 2 and 3, so this card I sided out a lot. But if I'm going first and I'm going for the combo, like just using this, like this card's main purpose was to get to the Abyss Dragon to grab the Chaos Max. That's its main purpose. But if I already had access to that, or Magia just wasn't an option, just using it to get Jet on the field was pretty good. And a few times I've actually used it just to get the vanilla back in play. So yeah, no, it was a very good card throughout the weekend. A lot of people had to read this card. They had no idea what it did, so it was cool. For hand traps, 3 effect Veiler. This card was really, really good this weekend, especially because it's very, very easy to search out. As Sage can search it, Wishes can search it, and it just is a level 1 light tuner. I didn't have to emergency normal summon this card at all throughout the weekend to use like the Link monster. But yeah, this card was just really, really good. Triple Ash, this card's amazing. Just negates so much. Especially with all the Mulcharmies flying around, this card being able to stop the Mulcharmies is really, really important. I have been debating actually cutting this to 2 because I was bricking, drawing multiple copies of Ash constantly in this deck. And there's actually a couple rounds that I actually, there's actually a couple like games I lost because I opened up 2 hand traps and it was just multiple copies of this, but the card's too good really not to consider 3F, but I have debated cutting it to 2 on a few occasions. This card's incredible. I main decked the Mulcharmy Fualos, and this card won me a ton of games. Like, if you're going second and you open up this card and your opponent can't answer it, I mean, sometimes that's enough to win you the game. This card was amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I sided it out every time I was going first with this deck, because if I knew I'm going first, the card's terrible, but, whenever this card did resolve going second, it was incredible. One of the reasons I did really well was because of this card. I got 1 lucky Nibiru. This is more of a going first combo deck, so Nibiru wiping my own board isn't really something that appealed to me. This card was really, really good, though, and yeah, it actually did win me a few games, just the 1 lucky Nib. We had 3 Imperm. This card was pretty good this weekend as well. Just nice staple. Was really good with Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon to like reset them. That was really, really powerful. The double Dominus Purge. This card is also really good. Was really good with Tyrant Dragon when I was resetting him. It's just a weaker Ash Blossom. Was really, really, really good. The last trap is the 1 True Light. I didn't end up bricking with this in my opening hand too much, which was nice. Yeah, really, really good card. Staple for the deck. For the spells, we got the 1 Mausoleum of White. This card didn't really brick on this that much either, which was nice. When I'm playing Master Duel, I'm like seeing these in my opening hands like all the time. So it was a nice change of pace that I wasn't really bricking with this too often. Yeah, this card was amazing because of the Link monster. This card's incredible. Wishes for Eyes of Blue. It's, lets you get rid of your bricks, like your Chaos Max, to fix your hand, getting a level 1 light tuner, and the spell card. And the Grave effect was just super clutch to get the Ultimate Dragon in the grave. Yeah, it was brutal when this card got Ash Blossomed and negated, but like when it resolved, I mean, sometimes it just felt like it was game over if the card resolved. It was that good. A tech I was running were 2 Bingo Machine Go. This was quite strong over the weekend. I mean, this isn't really like the greatest search card ever printed, but it's effectively 2 extra copies of this. That's why I liked it. Yeah, it was overall very, very good. I did end up bricking with this card on my final game at the YCS. But it overall was extremely good throughout the weekend. Very, very, very good. And it was also nice because it was like an extra target to search with Wishes. As to resolve this card, you have to have a legal Blue Eye Spell Trap. And the only other Blue Eye Spell Traps I run besides this are these 2. 1 Roar, 1 Ultimate Fusion. These are just because you can search it with this or the True Light. These are obviously both amazing. And like if you end up opening these 2 together, it's not terrible. You just bingo, reveal 2 of these. Typically I reveal the Chaos Max with it. And whatever I get, I get. So yeah, overall the bingo was like the Blue Eye Spell Traps were overall pretty good, and bingo ended up doing well for me. I did run the Synchro Rumble. This card was actually really, really, really good for me. I won actually quite a few games because of this card, and it's a card I never sided out either. It's a bit of a win harder card, as if you summon your Crimson Dragon, you can search this card out. Now in this deck, I was actually making Crimson Dragon a lot because Kaiser Seahorse is a level 4. I can synchro it with a level 8 Blue Eyes monster to make the Crimson, and Crimson can just grab this for free, and it's a free monster reborn. It saved me a few times, as I was able to, like, if my opponent, like, wiped my board, I could use it to bring back Maiden, and Maiden's field effect, I could tribute her to get the True Light back, so that saved me actually a few times. So yeah, no, this card was quite good over the weekend. And last two cards, one Pot of Prosperity. I saw this card, I think, once throughout the entire weekend. I just didn't draw this card. Um, the one time I did draw it, it also wasn't even really that good as I was going first and I already had an amazing hand. So it's yeah, it was good when I saw it, but again, I only drew the card once over the 9 rounds I played. So yeah, it was good, but I just wish I saw it more. And I would say the worst card in my deck that I'm probably going to cut is Triple Tactics Talent. Um, most players were playing around Talent actually pretty hard. Like, as people, if they had their mulch armies, it would just drop them right on standby. So you couldn't even like get the draw off this right away. Um, Going second, it doesn't really help you if they make like crazy boards either. So yeah, I mean, this was probably the worst card of the entire weekend. Like if I were to cut any card in this deck, it would be this one. So that's my main deck. It was 42 cards. Really, the only change I would make to it was I would probably just cut this out for another hand trap. But again, the main deck was overall like super solid. The extra deck, this card was crazy. Dragon Master Magia. A lot of people were not expecting this card. A lot of people had to read this card. A lot of people got really hyped when they saw me summon this at the tables. Like, it was just a ridiculous card. And it's actually not that difficult to summon in this deck either. And it was incredible. So this card was awesome. Like, I didn't make it for my first couple rounds, but then like after that, I was making this thing like every round. And it's not a card you summon like every single game, but like when you do summon it, man, it can feel like an auto win. Like, I made this thing a countless amount of times throughout the weekend, and every game I made it besides one, I lost. The only game I lost when I summoned this was when they baited out my spell negate and they baited out my ultimate spirit negate, and then they took control of it with triple tactics. Like, that was the only game I lost summoning this thing. But it was overall awesome. We got the one mandatory Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to summon Magia. Neo Blue Eyes. This card really didn't come up much. I mean, I ended up equipping it when Magia wasn't an option and I had wishes. I would equip this thing for a little bit of targeting protection. That targeting protection never came up throughout the weekend, so, but it was there as an option. Tyrant was absolutely incredible this weekend. Like ramming over everything and then resetting like Dominus Purge. I actually reset True Light once. Resetting Imperm was just so good. I did actually win a few games because of this card. Like one of the games I had, I bricked super hard and I had to hard Ultimate Fusion by using an in-hand Blue Eyes and an in-hand Jet to make this. It was super painful because I opened up like all hand traps, but he bricked. Well, he didn't brick, but I hand trapped him out. And then I had to just hard Ultimate Fuse into this, whack over his monsters, and then just reset my trap cards, and that was enough to win me the game. So he won me a lot of games. He was super good. He was good enough to where I really wanted to have a second one in my extra deck, because there were a few cases I actually kind of needed one. But he was incredible. Absolutely incredible. We got 2 Spirit Dragon. This card was absolutely bonkers too. Graveyard negate, tag out, easy to summon. Card's amazing. And we had the 1 Spirit Ultimate. I only really needed one throughout the weekend, and that's all I'm running. The card was really, really good. Just Omni negate and float. Like, this card is absolutely bonkers, especially if you have like this and Magia out, which is pretty reasonable to do. I mean, you're just negating like half of their hand at that point, because this is usually like, while this is like Magia seems like a triple negate, most of the time it's like a double negate, because you're usually not negating a trap card. You're usually negating like a spell and a monster. And this is just an Omni. So it's, these two together are crazy. Like, just these 2 cards alone can invalidate like half of someone's hand. Like, if you're going first and make that board. Crimson was amazing. Especially in pure Blue Eyes. If you're running the Kaiser Seahorse, I definitely think you should be running this card, as you can just, again, turn Blue Eyes and a Kaiser Seahorse into this. And this card will get you that Synchro Rumble for free. And then you can tag it out into the Stardust Cypher. This card was so good. Especially with like Jet. If I had these 2 established on the board, like, it was so hard for my opponents to do like anything. Like, even if I wasn't making Magia, if I wasn't making a board that was like, you know, this, and sometimes with Jet, like, this was really, really hard for people to break. as it was such like a powerful board. So no, these were definitely MVP. These were phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Lightstorm Dragon. This card came up once, and it was only in round 1. That was the only time I summoned this, and it was against a Blue Eyes Primite player, and it absolutely cooked him. But yeah, that was the only time I summoned this card, just round 1. Typhon, I didn't summon this card a single time throughout the entire weekend. I'm probably going to cut this. Typhon's kind of like one of those cards, like if you're losing, he's like a really good option, but like if you get to the point where you have to rely on Typhon, you're probably going to lose anyways. So he was, yeah, I just never summoned him. Never made him once. He was just kind of a wasted extra deck slot for me this weekend. Indigo, a lot of people don't like this card. I think this card's actually pretty good. This card, I summoned it twice. One of the times it got negated. It didn't matter. And the other time it actually won me the game. So yeah, only came up a couple of times, but it was actually pretty decent the couple times I needed it. Then we got the Lynx, 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Pretty much use both of these every single game. This card's amazing. So good. So good. And the 1 Hieratic Seal. This card came up once in a while. It wasn't really that good every time I made it, but it was definitely an option. I made it a handful of times, and it was actually decent, but definitely not a card I want to turbo into for this deck. I'm more trying to go for like the big synchros and the fusions. So that's the main and the extra. I'll quickly show off my side deck. So if I'm going second, I'll typically like completely side out of all the Magia stuff. Like if I know I'm going second, Magia is usually not going to be an option. So I'll usually just load my deck up with like a ton of hand traps to try and just deal with my opponent. So if I was going second, I pretty much always sided the same stuff every game. I sided the extra 2 Nibiru's. These 2 were absolutely amazing, especially in combination with Fua, because like with Fua, you just draw a bunch of cards and then you just nib their board. Like I had a bunch of people concede just because of these 2 cards, like without me having to play anything. Like these 2 were just won me games. Crazy. I sided triple Ghost Ogre. I really didn't end up using them that much. I used them round 1 against the Blue Eyes Primite player. That was the only other Blue Eyes player I saw the entire event. I thought I'd see at least like a couple of them, but no, I only saw 1 in round 1, and Ghost Ogre absolutely cooked them. This card is insane against Blue Eyes. Really, really good. I ended up siding it a few other times, and it was kind of mediocre, but it won me round 1, so I guess it's something. We had the 1 Magna Hut. I sided this card a few times, and I only ended up seeing it once. It actually won me so on day 2, there were 2 rounds. It actually won me my first round of day 2 as I just banished his Fiendsmith like Link Monster, dropped this. And then I was able to search my Kaiser Seahorse to give me a starter, because I didn't have a starter. But this guy got me to a starter, and I was able just to combo and win from there. So Magna Hut, I didn't see it, but the one time I dropped it, it was amazing. My last going second card was the 2 Dark Ruler No More. This card was... honestly, I just didn't see it. I saw it once, and it just didn't help me enough. So I don't know if I'd keep this in my side deck. It was pretty decent. If I were to change anything, I would probably consider putting a 3rd one in it, just because I wasn't seeing it at 2 copies. So, but it's there. I sided the Harpy's Feather Duster, but I never ended up putting this in my deck at all throughout the entire weekend. There were no circumstances I wanted it, so this was a wasted side deck slot. If I were to change something, I'd consider cutting this for just a 3rd Dark Ruler, because I just didn't run into any back row decks the entire event. Then I have the Call By and Cross Out. These are for going first. I didn't see Call By. I sided this in every single game going first. I never saw Call By the Grave at all. Cross Out, I sided this in also, again, every game going first. And I only saw it one time, and it got me into day 2. Because I was going... I think I had... yeah, I had the Chaos Max Dragon in my hand. And the only opener I had was Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So I played Wishes, pitched his costs. He ashed, and then I negated it with Crossout, and that allowed me to make Magia, and it won me again. That got me into day 2. So Crossout ended up being really, really good, even though I only saw it once and it got me 1 game win. I mean, that was good for that purpose. I did side the copy of Majesty of the White Dragons. This is like just, to me, it's always been kind of a win harder going first card. I don't really like this card in the main deck because it's completely dead going second, especially if your opponent's comboing. It just doesn't help you. I'd rather just run like a hand trap. And when I'm like comboing, I'm not really trying to like end on this. I'm trying to end on this. So I did end up siding it in and replacing like one of my hand traps or something if I'm going first. And I never searched it. I never drew it. So really don't have any comment on this card. This was absolutely clutch. The last side deck card, 3 Solemn Judgments. This was absolutely incredible. As multiple times I would end up on a board with like Magia and Ultimate Spirit. And, you know, my opponent was trying to side in a board breaker to break it. If you have like this backed up by Judgment, I mean, there is nothing your opponents can do. Like I had one game, I end up setting like this board up. And then I set the Judgment. My opponent tries to droplet me to negate my board. He had to force him to pay the cost, and I flipped the Judgment on him and completely spooked him. So this card was really, really good. Like 3 copies of this on the side, like definitely was like super powerful for me. Yeah, so that's it. That's my Dragon Master Magia Blue Eyes deck profile. It's again was a really, really fun deck to pilot. And while my matchup knowledge of the event was, I'm not gonna lie, absolutely horrible. I mean, I was like the definition of a casual Yu-Gi-Oh player there. I was pretty clueless, but I knew my deck pretty well, and I knew what I had to do to win games. I did the best I could, and you know, I'm extremely happy. Top 32 for being out of the game for, not top 32, I'm sorry, day 2. We're not playing the game for a while. Like, that was awesome. Now, really quick, I'm actually going to show like how you actually summon Magia. You can 1-card into Magia actually really easy. This is a 1-card Magia. This is a, well, technically they're 1.5 card Magias if you just, because you have to discard. But these 3 are all 1-card Magias. I'll quickly show how to do that before I end the deck profile. So these 2 pretty much have the same, like the same path to get there. So let's just say we have Sage. We'll summon Sage. We grab Maiden. We'll pitch Maiden. So we pitch her to the graveyard. To grab the True Light. So this is in the grave. This is on board. We would use True Light to grab the Wishes, which we would activate by pitching some random card. Let's just say we're pitching like an Imperm or something. So we pitch a card. And then we would add the White Stone of Ancients and the Ultimate Fusion. So these would be in our hand. We would link summon the Sage for the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, who would search the field spell out. We'd play the field spell, dump the Blue Eyes, targeting the Spirit. So again, our graveyard would look like this at this point. We would sack the Spirit to bring the Blue Eyes back, which would special summon Maiden of White. We would banish the Wishes to target the Blue Eyes and equip the ultimate onto him. This would just get the ultimate in the graveyard. At this point, you'd use the additional normal for the Ancients. And sorry, everything's kind of clumped up. I don't really have the best camera. But you'd Synchro into the Spirit Dragon. And then you'd set the Ultimate Fusion. This would go to the graveyard. You'd set the Ultimate Fusion. Okay, that's a little better. Then end phase, you would activate the Ancient Stone to grab the Abyss Dragon, who would grab your Chaos Max. At that point, you'd have all the pieces with the Ultimate Fusion and the Blue Eyes Ultimate to make the Magia. Really quickly, I'll show the Kaiser Seahorse combo. So so you'd summon Kaiser Seahorse, you'd sack it off, or not sack it, you'd link it for the Spirit. Spirit and Kaiser would activate. Kaiser would dump the Maiden of White to the graveyard. And then Spirit would get the Mausoleum. You'd, similar to last time, play the Mausoleum and target the Spirit to get Blue Eyes into the graveyard. And then we'd sack him to bring Blue Eyes back, and Maiden will follow. At this point, Maiden, some people forget this about Maiden. Maiden contributed herself from the field to set the True Light. She doesn't have to just be in your hand, so we get the True Light there. True Light would grab the Wishes. Wishes, you'd pitch some random card from your hand. Let's just say it's the Imperm again. And just like last time, we'll end up going for the White Stone of Ancients and the Ultimate Fusion. So we'd banish the Wishes to equip the Blue Eyes White Dragon with the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We would then use the normal summon on the Rock. Synchro into Spirit. You get a Spirit Dragon out, so there's Spirit. Then we would set the Ultimate Fusion. Then, just like last time, we'd use the Rock for the Abyss Dragon. That's not an Abyss Dragon, that's an Abyss Dragon. And Abyss would grab the Chaos Max. And then during our opponent's turn, we'd flip up the Ultimate Fusion and make the Magia. So, yeah, that's overall my Day 2 YCS Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. Again, I'm super excited that I did so well at this event. It was a lot of fun. And one thing I'll say to people is don't be like discouraged over like maybe not knowing the meta so well, or worry that you get your butt kicked and like overthink things too much. Like for me, I just went to have a lot of fun, and I ended up doing really well and having like an absolute blast with this deck. So play what you like. Do it the best you can and have fun. So, again, that's the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.